I'm here with Josh Hammer. Josh, the left is turning on each other with BLM suing a George Soros-backed organisation. The New York Post reports the National Black Lives Matter movement claims $33.4 million is being withheld by the Tides Foundation, backed by George Soros. BLM accuses the foundation of deceptive business practices and egregious mismanagement of its money. And this week, they asked the California Attorney General to investigate Tides after filing a lawsuit last year. Josh, where did it all go so wrong?
Well, you know, Rita, they always say the revolution always eats its own, right? I mean, this is kind of leftism 101, really. I mean, we see this time and time again, how the various parts of this leftist coalition, this intersectional coalition of aggrieved interests. I mean, they oftentimes, not all times, they pretty much always will ultimately end up warring against each other. I mean, you know, let's kind of take a similar example to kind of paint this image a little more starkly there. I mean, how about you had first the fight for same-sex marriage, gay rights, etc., and then you had the transgender fight there. Well, one of the big premises of the arguments for enhanced gay rights, same-sex marriage, etc., in the U.S. was that gay people are born this way, right? That was one of the big arguments. I mean, Lady Gaga had that song back in 2010, 2011, "Born This Way." That was a big part of their movement. Well, then you kind of flip the screws. Then the transgender stuff comes along, and it's like, oh wait, yeah, maybe you were literally born this way, but no, subjectively, you actually were not born this way. So I mean, it literally doesn't make sense. I mean, we see this kind of with Linda Sarsour back when she was the head of the Women's March as well, right? And this is someone who is a Sharia law citing Muslim purporting to lead a feminist march. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, how do you possibly square that circle? So, I mean, here at Black Lives Matter and the Tides Foundation, the Tides Foundation is, of course, the number one most prominent left-wing dark money organization in all of the United States. So, I mean, this is another example, of course, of the left eating its own. And frankly, as someone myself here, to me, this kind of looks like the Iran-Iraq war. I pretty much just root for casualties.
Now, Donald Trump has another win, this time against Google, or YouTube to be precise, owned by Google. He's had a number of these wins, Josh, against ABC, CBS. He's had big wins against Meta, Facebook and Twitter. And you look at these legal wins and it's hard not to think that there was a conspiracy afoot, a conspiracy amongst these media outlets, those social media giants, to effectively deplatform the leading political candidate, the leading challenger to the Democrats, and to prevent his re-election.
Rita, I mean, how anyone can possibly, you know, not think that at this point strikes me as crazy. I mean, they pulled out all the stunts imaginable in 2020. In 2024, a lot of them tried the exact same things again. And they've been on this extended mea culpa campaign. I mean, let's not forget that this past January 20th on Inauguration Day in Washington, D.C., you had pretty much all the big tech oligarchs that attended this. There was Jeff Bezos, there was Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk obviously was there. Google was in the house. So they've been on this extended attempt to try to appease the Trump administration there. Now, for what it's worth, I remain skeptical that all these companies have necessarily seen the light, so to speak. Mark Zuckerberg's been on hitting this beat for at least a year now when he purports to open up Meta and Facebook to free speech. YouTube and Google just recently conceding for the first time that, yes, they actually did censor and deplatform conservative voices there. So, look, I think some of them are just trying to avoid some sort of retribution there, and that's probably where these settlements come in as well. But I guess I would encourage my fellow conservatives to not be so easily bought out. I mean, don't be so easily duped here. The mere fact that they are coming to the negotiating table, whether it is defamation lawsuits, whether it is conceding that, yeah, they actually did really censor and deplatform here, that doesn't mean that these C-suite, left-wing, Silicon Valley, Birkenstock-wearing freaky CEOs, it doesn't mean that they actually have had a genuine change of heart and that they are suddenly joining Team Civilizational Sanity against the forces of civilizational arson. I personally don't buy it for a second. So, you know, I mean, trust but verify, they say. In this case, I don't particularly trust, but I'm definitely verifying.
Just quickly before you go, we've had Hillary Clinton make another appearance in the mainstream media decrying the influence of white Christian men. How have you seen her interjection in the political discourse, and how useful is it to be, again, trying to demonize white Christian men?
Well, that's what the Democrats do these days, right? I mean, they demonize anyone who does not fit their particular intersectional conception of what it means to be a good American. And white Christian men, white straight Christian men, I guess, are really kind of at the top of the list of someone who check pretty much zero intersectional boxes. They are literally at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to the left. I mean, I think a relevant question is what the heck is Hillary Clinton doing? I mean, like literally, what is she doing? I mean, what is her purpose at this particular juncture? And I actually do not know what the answer is. I mean, I guess in theory, she might be looking for yet another book deal. I mean, God knows what she could possibly write about that would entertain a single human being at this point there. She's basically said everything platitudinous and vapid under the sun already at this point there. But I guess the Clintons at this point, Rita, just have an insatiable desire to be in the public light. Recall also that, Bill Clinton, once upon a time, and Hillary too, once upon a time, they actually called themselves religious Christians. We can kind of scoff at Bill's personal life, whatever, but they once upon a time called themselves real Christians. So the fact that they have shifted this far where they're openly mocking Christians in the year 2025, I think really just shows how far the center of gravity of the Democratic Party has shifted over the past few decades as well.